get anything?
I did not. Okay, so what are we going to do in this video today?
We are going to be discussing our July and August sales and what we purchased, what we sold, and how our eBay store is doing. Are you okay?
Ankle broke.
So that's what we're going to be doing today.
Okay, let's go. Okay, before we really get into the July-August evaluation, kind of tell me what's your goal, sales numbers or volume numbers, what's your goal for what we're shooting for to measure some of these numbers against?
My goal is to have a $5,000 sales every month, maybe even more than that. I think we're on target to reach that goal pretty soon. I'd like to have more bigger ticket items, more expensive items in our eBay store. That's important to me. I'd like to have more daily sales rather than just like we've been having like kind of bulk day sales.
Okay, let's get into that. Okay, so we're going to get into category one. We're going to kind of go over our notes as we go through this. I'll put the graphics on the screen, of course, and this may not be the most technologically advanced video, but we just kind of want to give you all the data and get going there. So, Beth, let's talk a little bit about sales category for July and August.
So what's interesting is that our sales categories were different in both months. In July, so our inventory is not like a huge inventory yet. So we're still building our inventory. And so it's going to be interesting to watch this grow and compare it to next year at this time or another sales month that is similar to what, where our end up goal is.
And I think our interests and our focuses will evolve as we move forward.
And I see that happening already.
So as you can see on the screen right now, clothing was high in July, but we had such low sales volume that any sale would typically cannibalize categories as we made those sales.
Right.
August shows high video games. Well, I love video games. I love collecting, and what I don't collect, I sell. So I think moving forward, that might be a top category.
Well, we're already seeing that we're doing well in that. So
yeah.
We're purchasing more, we're selling more, we're hunting for those things more. We had in July, we had a lot of, our high volume was coats, jackets, and vests. But we had found some Harley Davidson stuff that was like a home run. And so, although it was summer, people are looking for those kind of items all the time.
Yeah, and I think those Harley Davidson finds really have turned us into Harley Davidson.
Yes.
Is there a category that surprises you more so in August, since there was a little more data to pull from?
So I noticed that we had two video game categories. Video games and consoles, and video games was our top performer. Video games consoles was also on our top performer list. We continued with dolls and bears and toys and hobbies. Those are both really interesting.
What's the eBay Motors?
Oh, okay. That's a tire pressure monitoring sensor item.
Yeah.
So wheels, tires, parts, tire pressure monitoring sensor. I don't even remember what that was.
Yeah,
so was it the truck thing?
It was. No, it was that RV thing.
Oh, it was the RV thing.
So there you go. Will we have a lot these next few months in eBay Motors? Probably not. So there's a skew there, but
it's interesting though to see how it changes and what it will adapt to as our inventory builds and our sales build.
So what we're going to focus on when we look at this data is what is the numbers, what's the mix that's going to help us get to our $5,000 goal and make that $5,000 goal most efficient.
Right.
Okay, Beth's found her a pretty good garage sale. While she's in there finding her treasures, I'm going to go over our next segment, which is simply daily sales. And as you'll see by these next two graphics, between July and August, one thing that we're going to work on and really hope to figure out or balance, and I think it's just a roll of the dice, but you'll notice July here, we had very spiky days of sales, and many days throughout there that either had very limited or no sales at all. Moving on to August, you'll see that we start evening out. We're starting to have daily sales that produce revenue, that keep us moving, that quite honestly make it a little more fun just to manage eBay when there's energy and something going on. So that's an ongoing goal, is to buy inventory, promote inventory in a sense of it being very interesting, mobile, and generating daily sales. We've had a couple of runs here, and of course when you're seeing this video it's middle of September, but we've had a couple of runs here where we've just had incredible days with high sales, high volume numbers as far as units sold. It's been a good month, so it'll be exciting to show September and August. But looks like she's back. We'll go find the next garage sale and hop to item 3.
One thing that we are interested in is our impressions on our page, our YouTube. No, not our YouTube at all. I want to know what our impressions on our YouTube page is. Like, what do you think?
You have a good time with it?
Yes. Okay, back to that. Our impressions on our eBay store. That's what we were talking about today. Our eBay store. So in July, our impressions were nearly 450,000. And now we're up to 1.7 million impressions. I don't know what that means yet. I need to do a little research and figure that out. But they're way up, so that's great. Our page views are up 100%. So how do we turn our page views into customers? That's one thing we want to do. We want to get more customers. We want more people to be purchasing our items. So those are all things that we're going to be learning about. We're going to be studying about, to be developing strategy around. So there's a lot of things to learn still, but we're seeing growth, we're seeing development, we're seeing personal growth, we're seeing personal development. So for our page, for our sales, even for our YouTube channel, which is something else that we're doing and we're talking about. We're always thinking about that. Like, what is going to grow our business? And this is a small business to us. And so what is going to grow it? And how do we use the data that eBay and YouTube provide us to become better at what we're doing? We're watching people, different YouTubers. We're looking at different eBay stores, seeing what's out there, people that we like, that we follow. So I think it's all very interesting, and it's all so much, we can just learn so much.
Why do you think page views went up? What are some of the reasons?
So one of the reasons that our page views went up, I think, is because we promoted listings. I think that puts us, we're not using like crazy high promotion numbers, but we are promoting most of our listings, and that just puts us out there a little bit more so to the general public.
So would you say we have learned or are still learning the balance between how much we spend on a promotion and the bang for that buck that we're getting?
I think we're learning that. I want to do a little bit more research on what we're promoting. So most of our views, we get 25% of just natural views, and then 75% is promoted views, is basically. So I'd like to know, what are the sales off of those? I mean, I would assume maybe 75%, right? But maybe not.
No, probably not.
So there's still things to learn on that. So any other questions?
Well, and I think one of the things that I think we need to do this next month is, I've noticed that we can get data off of a sale that says whether it was sold by promotion or whether it wasn't. So what I want to dig into a little bit better, are there categories that we wouldn't have to promote because there's such a demand for people finding that piece?
Right. True. Like a video game, maybe.
Right.
A popular video game.
A popular video game is a good example. and then a non-popular video game. So do we promote a non-popular? And we don't just sell video games. It's just a common.
That's just a common thing.
A common thing that everybody can kind of resonate with, probably. But yeah, to her point, how do we balance that? Are we maximizing that? And I think right now, if we're being honest, our goal is obviously profitability, but I think above that is generating sales and generating traffic, beating or improving the algorithm on eBay. And I think from what I hear from other sellers is that it's constant. So you need to be listing a lot.
Right.
You need to be
I hear that too.
Active in your stores. So I really believe building top line for us right now is the most important part. We don't want to lose money doing it, but building that top line and then creating more efficiencies as we learn what these data points actually mean. How to, like she said earlier, this is probably the best point that I can say in this video that she brought up is 1.7 million impressions on 150 units sold. How do we utilize 1.7 million impressions to grow our business? And I think that's probably the biggest lesson we can learn.
And another thing, I don't know if this really fits into this part of the discussion, but going back to June when we first started listing items, I am going back to some of those listings and looking at them more closely, looking at their title, their, the size, all of those little things that people are looking at and trying to better fit to more searches and just to better explain, I think.
Well, and I think we've both learned more discipline.
Yes,
in not to buy certain things. And
and I refrained from buying yet another birdhouse today. So there's that. It was super cute.
Well, and we're also preparing our home garage sale. And I think we're in shock about making sure we don't overflow our world.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna go park and go into an estate sale, and then we'll follow up and finish up on probably what most people want to know out of this is what are sales? How much did we sell? So we'll get to that here in just a moment. And we are back a day later. We did our garage sale and we're both exhausted. But let's finish item 4, the most important part, July sales. So we've got cheat sheets here, but we'll put on the screen over our beautiful faces so you can follow along. July sales, our first full month of doing eBay, we did just under $2,700, $2,667, 42 items, and an average sale price of $63.52, which I'm pretty pleased with. We'll see how that compares to August here in just a few moments, but 42 total buyers, no repeat buyers. We're still building our brand. We're still starting to learn who we are in July, obviously. August, we'll show you some newer and better stats, and then we'll be excited to show you September because I really think we're starting to grow something special. But Beth, tell us about August.
So in August, we had $4,602 in total sales. We sold 125 items.
Yep. So tripled sales.
Yeah, that's way
tripled
up.
Items.
Our average sales price was down. It was $36.
So that's down 42%,
Yeah,
as you can see, but that's a big drop.
Yeah. We had, for auctions, we were down again because we held less auctions.
Well, and I think we see the benefit of a fixed price situation.
And then our fixed price was up 100%, right? Is that how I read that?
Correct.
$4,420 was our sales via fixed price. And we had 150 buyers and we had 6 repeat buyers.
So what we're excited about is it's a small number, but 6 repeat buyers means that we're growing a brand. We're having inventory that people are interested in. So guys, we'll just wrap this up. That's month 1 and 2. We're not far away. We've had so much going on that this is late in the month, but we'll follow up real quick with September here, and You won't have to wait long for that. But anyway, we appreciate y'all watching. Hope this is helping you. We're going to keep doing it, and let's all grow some awesome businesses. So we'll see you next time on
Trust me.
You Got It.
Bye.